Just thought I'll do a little post about the Tyson Fury announcement that was made recently by himself on his Twitter page, saying that he's going to return in May the 13th to be exact, and come back from the long layoff he's had due to medical issues, predominantly mental health issues. Uh, so I'm glad to hear that. To be honest, we saw David Hay get beaten by Tony Bellew, and you can have a look at my video and my thoughts on that pre and post fight. But I was really excited about David Hay coming back into the heavyweight division, and a lot of us were. But now he has been put out of the picture because of his Achilles injury, and I think that he won't be returning to the ring for another 9 months. So he's made it clear that he will be returning to the ring whether Bellew gives him a rematch or not, and he's waiting for his Achilles heel to heal, and then he will make a comeback. But we're looking at 6 to 9 months, so he's out of contention. I was looking forward to him beating Bellew and then fighting possibly Anthony Joshua or Wilder or Parker or one of those guys, but now he is out of the contention for those fights. So I'm glad to hear that Tyson Fury is now back and thinking about making a ring return, because the heavyweight division is, looking dull, and we need somebody like Tyson Fury to come back in and brighten it up again. I think he's very good for the heavyweight division. I think, like him or hate him, he is like a Marmite character. You either like him or hate him. I personally really like Tyson Fury, though he can be outspoken. He, has no concern about, authority. He says what he feels. He says it how he sees it, and you've got to respect him for that. And also, you've got to respect him for his accomplishments, for beating Vladimir Klitschko. Did something that nobody else could do on his hometown. And literally, he's completely put the heavyweight division in disarray. Complete disarray in a number of ways. Firstly, by the way he speaks and some of the comments he's made. And secondly, we had Vladimir Klitschko had all the belts and he was reigning as a heavyweight, and now we've got all the belts just all over the place as a result of Tyson Fury coming in, beating Klitschko, and then just coming out of the game for a while, and all the belts are everywhere. We've got Anthony Joshua, we've got Deontay Wilder, we've got Joseph Parker, we've got Hughie Fury fighting for a title, we've got, so much going on in the heavyweight division. So, that was all down to Tyson beating Klitschko and then just coming out of the game because of his personal issues. Now, I hear that there's an issue of the license. So the British Boxing Board of Control are still looking at his medical records, because he was signed off for depression and also some sort of a doping issue, I believe, but I'm not sure exactly what that is. But the British Boxing Board of Control have stated, and I quote this loosely, that they're going to sort of review his medical records to see whether or not they feel he's fit enough to return to boxing. Because if you think about it, like, depression is not like an Achilles injury where you can operate on it and then it heals and then you're sort of back and you recover. Depression is something that is long lasting, is a continuous problem. You may need medication, you may need therapy, it may, be triggered off whenever. So it's not just something that is, temporary. It's something that is long term and dangerous. And, when you talk about Tyson Fury, you see what he's like outside of the ring, in between fights. He's got a tendency to blow up. He's got a tendency to party, it seems, and eat. And you can see now that he's 25 stone. When you're depressed, you comfort eat. things like that you really got to consider. So I wonder whether Tyson Fury is really medically, emotionally fit to return to the ring. That is something that we also need to consider. It's all good saying yes, we're happy Tyson Fury's back. He's very good for the heavyweight division. He's entertaining. He speaks his mind. But the fact is, is he fit enough mentally to return? Depression is a big thing. I mean, if he believes he is and he's ready to make a comeback, then by all means, it's good news. But we just have to wait and see what happens. He's planning a fight for May the 13th. We're not sure who that's going to be against. There is an issue of the license as well coming up, and that has to be resolved. But I take it that he's not going to fight anybody dangerous, because he's been out of the ring for over a year now. So he's going to look to get some of that ring rust out. So I would imagine that, to get himself back into contention, he's going to fight, fringe contenders, or, a couple of fights that aren't going to pose any particular threat, so he can get back into the swing of things. And then once he's able to do that, I think he will start to think about aiming for those titles. So, I think it will be good to see him return. And, I hope he does feel physically and mentally fit enough to come back. I mean, he has ballooned up, I heard, to 25 stone. But I think that, he can lose that if he eats right and if he trains hard. He could lose the weight. But the question is, who is he going to fight? Is he physically and mentally ready to return? I hope he is, because he's good for the heavyweight division. I am a fan of Fury. I think he can fight. He proved that when he beat Klitschko, and on many other occasions. He's big, he's rangy, he's awkward, he's got good feet. He's quite fast for a heavyweight. He can move quite well, I think. And I'd like to see him back. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.